Okay, one of the things that I look at when Kevin, when he brought up this here live that he just did on Thursday going into Friday morning, very long, you know, live that he did on YouTube. Is this better than dying alone? You know, and I just want to come in and say it was a very hot, subject, and I tell you, it was well put together how he did this. And he had those to come in that had disagreements. Only the ones that had disagreement of what he was saying. And when they came in, when these women came in to voice their opinions, it was a wow moment. Wow moment. I tell you, your eyes is open up. I mean, I was shocked just to hear some of these women when they would speak, because some of them did not even take the time to understand what he was talking about. Did not even take the time to examine what he was talking about when it come down to, is this better than dying alone? Do you want to die alone? So it's more than just talking about, are you in your 40s or your 60s married? You understand me? Do you have a man in your life? He never talk about the marriage so much, but he'll come back in and bring it back into marriage. That's what I see. I see the foundation is truly built up on Yahweh. That is the blessing right there. That is truly built up on Yahweh glory, the foundation, when he's talking about the relationship when you getting ready to date, and when you going into not just going out there just picking somebody and just want to have a good time with them, but I'm really seeing that he's very serious about the dating process. And if you really going into the dating process, you do have to take time and examine yourself for your image, who you are. Do you need things to be cleaned up in your life? How can you get up there and want to date somebody? Did you a real, check? How can you want to go up there and you got good health and your body is all built up, and you get up there with somebody that they are not taking very good care of themselves? So if you're doing that, sometimes you don't have the circle that you are, in that right moment. But if you say you're building yourself up and you're rising up to your elevation, isn't this the time to say, not only do I want my body to be shaped right and I want my health to be in the right order, first of all, but I do have to know who I want in my circle, who I want to be with me, in this journey. Do I want a temporary relationship, or do I want a relationship that's going to be long term? So that long term relationship. So when he talks about, if you now what a man is looking for, if a man already been married for a very long time and he comes out of that marriage, or he could be married for a very short time and he's in his 40s or his 50s and even his 60s, because there are men that are very established in their 60s, 50s, they're very established. But when they come out of something that been a long-term relationship for them, now they looking for not arm candy, but they are looking for something now, not by just let me just have this woman, I'm ready to play, I'm ready to do my thing, but they also looking for something more fresh and younger to start a new family with. So women, let us get it right. Queens out there who are really out there operating in queenship, get it right. When you hear a 40 or 50-year-old man and a 60-year-old man talking about a younger woman, he's not interested in an older woman, is due to the fact he is starting a whole new life cycle. He is starting a whole new life cycle. So what the young women have to understand, and even down to the 30 and the 40-year-old women have to understand, when this man comes into your life and he wasting your time, and you could be in your 20s going into that relationship to you 30, and he did not marry you. He did not put a legacy inside of you. A legacy that both of you are sharing together. He did not add a legacy with you. So being that he did not add a legacy with you, you are alone. You done put in a lot of interest in this relationship that did not bring in no dividends, did not come in to bring an access, did not come in to bring in any blessing, to bring overflow. prosperity, wealth, health. None of this is coming in because you with a man right then and there that put seeds up in you, left you with a baby, left you with that problem, and now you got to take him to child support to go out there and support that baby. Now that do not come all about just black men's, is doing this. It was a lot of white men that have done the same thing too. Do not think that white women do not have this complaint. They have this complaint also. But what brings it out with black men to come out there? Because when you look back into the time in the 30s, right during that time, black men were more family orientated. So when it came into World War II and Vietnam War, black men became pulled away from family. They became pulled away from the family origin. This is what happened. They became more now attracted to other different, women of different cultures. When they was over there in Europe, in Europe, when they was over there in Japan, when they was over there fighting in Germany, their aspect was more open. When they was over there in Vietnam, their eyesight was more open for different women. So when they come back home, now they're not thinking about marriage anymore. It wasn't because they did not want to be married. It's because also the government helped push this into a lot of not because black women and black men wanted to be lazy and all of this stuff. It was due to the time of the inflation. It was due to the time that it was a lot of things that was going on after the wars took place. People was dealing with poverty in the 60s. And then in the 70s, inflation, lack of food, lack of income. No men could be in, black men especially, could not be in a woman's house. They can go and leave their babies, so they had to get up out of that household and go and find them someone else to live. And then that means they went into another household, left more babies. That's where the song come from. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat, it was his home. Saying that the government had pushed that black man out of his household. And now when he pushed that black man out of the household, his home became wherever he laid his hat. So that's why, ladies, we have to come in, black queens, to come in and not attack our black men, but to know that where their mindset is at. Their mindset is right now is that they've been always on this fixed thing, meaning to build themselves up, to become more and more strong and successful. Black men always have been powerful. So how can we not look at Oklahoma when with Black Wall Street, how them black men built enterprise, so we cannot just say, oh, the black man, they ain't no good, they ain't this and they ain't that, and they left me with these babies, and if it wasn't for the black man, doing this here, what do he want? I don't want to be dealing with that. Look. It's up to you who you dating. It's up to who you allowing to come in. If you study your self-approval, you will know good and well that man right there from your community, right then and there, may not be educated, may not be pulled up to his rightful place. You already know that. But you settling because you have not grown out of that mess. You may have got your house, you may have got this, and you may have did a little extra on yourself, but you did not do extra to examine your confidence. You understand me? You have to build up your confidence. You say, no, do that. I want that. So to say that Kevin's saying that a 40-year-old cannot get married, a 60-year-old cannot get married, a 50-year-old can't get married, you are now, in the wind of blowing into the dust. No, babies. No, I cannot say that. But I do know the theology that he is coming in with. I do know that what he is saying to wake up women to know when you have this youth in you, do not take it for granted. That's what I do see that he is trying to, make a very strong point of. But when it comes down to that factor, when we come into that blessing to know who we are, and now we come in and look at ourselves, then say, no, I am worthy of more. And if I'm worthy of more, I examine myself. I examine myself to know who I am. You understand me? So who am I? Who am I? I am a woman of virtue. I am a woman that desire more. So that means at the age of 50, 40, and 60, can they have relationship? Oh yes, baby, they can. And I know because I just married a couple that was the wife was just now 60 and the man was 65. And both of them was very healthy and strong and beautiful. Had a beautiful wedding. A beautiful wedding. And so no way can you say that these are not getting married. I know a whole lot of other mature people done got married. But what he is telling you, who is going to be there for you, is do you have a legacy? But what God given to me in my spirit, because Kevin, he don't bring up the religious order, and I'm not bringing up religious order, but I do believe in the greater power. I do believe in the Creator, that the Creator did put inside of us to build up family units, to have legacy and generational wealth. And generational wealth means to pass it down to the next generation. Yes, we are doing it now, not all the way there, because we done had a hard time in this era. Do not feel bad because you don't have the big house yet, but look at where you done came from. Look at the generational line, where your family line, to know that it been struggles from one generation to the next generation, from all the way from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and now the 2000s. So we are the example. We are the witness of things coming forth. So we cannot turn around and just tell the mature woman, the mothership, the queens of mothers, to say you are hopeless now. That is it. You're going to die alone. That is impossible to say, because a lot of the women he's talking about that is 40 years old and are grandmothers. You understand me? 50-year-olds that are grandmothers. Me and my husband started marriage at a very young age. And that means that I was already a grandmother in my 30s. And so was he. You're a grandfather in his 30s. And we elevated. You understand me? So we started life young. And so that means when you have a 40-year-old, they can be already grandparents already. 50-year-old, they could be grandparents and getting ready to probably even be great-grandparents. You know? So that means that we have to look and examine of our generational line, to know the hardship that we came from, to know where we was going, you understand me, due to the time of the things that we were struggling with when it came down to segregation, and what we was struggling with when it came down to the civil rights movement. All of these things are part of the relationship of black generational wealth. It also comes into black generational orders to come into relationships, so don't feel bad at me saying, oh, he talking about me and what is he? No, go into the code words. It is code words that is there. The Heavenly Father is allowing Kevin to come in to be a mouthpiece also. He is opening up his mouth to bring attention to even the younger generation that also need that help, to also know, do not play around with this here. Let us build back our generational wealth. Let us build back up our families together in wholesomeness. You understand me? The black family, because the black family been broken down. This is what I see right here, and I tell you, it's powerful order. But this is PSKV. So, hit that like and hit that subscribe. Come on in. Don't be selfish. Don't be passing by. You're talking about the black man this, the black man that. But when you come to the black woman who is opening up her mouth with wisdom and knowledge and giving it to you, you want to pass by. Don't want to subscribe. Want to leave me out there hanging like that. So how can you get angry when he's talking about, I see the black queens all crusty and blowing in the wind like it's the dry desert. Come on now. Support your motherships. Support the wisdom that Yahweh is giving us to give to you. Also, because I truly support Kevin. I support his mouthpiece, but I want you all to support the queens also. Talk to you soon. This is PSKV coming to you in the comfort of your home.